So you're thinking of taking a solo trip to Universal, but quite frankly are wondering if it's worth it? Isn't it going to be awkward? Won't it be weird being by myself? If you're new here, welcome to the Megan Moves channel, where I like to make videos that are meant to help you make the most of your time when visiting Orlando theme parks. I frequently make solo trips to Disney and Universal myself, and I want to share a little bit about what I've learned and also convince you to make a solo trip for yourself. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 perks of visiting Universal solo, and quite frankly, the last perk is my favorite. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Perk number 1 here is that you get to plan your day all as you want. There's nobody else you have to plan around, no one else you have to share your day with, just you and your own itinerary. When traveling to the park solo, you get to plan your day completely based on your interests and exactly what it is you want to do while in the parks. When traveling to the parks with other people, especially with families, you might not be able to get up as early as you were hoping to. You might have to miss some attractions, especially if you have kids with you, and you might not be able to ride some of the coasters that you were hoping to check out, and you may not be able to try to pack as much as you can as possible in a day by rushing around the park. But when traveling solo, all of those worries go out the window. You're able to get up and go to the park as early or as late as you want. You can run around and try to cram in as many rides as possible in a day, or take advantage of some experiences that you might not be able to enjoy otherwise. Not saying that traveling to Universal with a family or with a group isn't fun, it's just a lot of fun being able to go and have a day just to yourself where you're able to go and check out exactly what it is that you want to do whenever visiting Universal. Perk number 2 of visiting Universal or taking a solo trip to Universal is that you get to choose where you want to stay. If you're trying to stay on a budget, you can totally stay off property at a different resort, or say you've always wanted to check out a more expensive resort that might not be suitable for kids, you can also plan that as well. I personally have had the opportunity to stay at Cabana Bay and Endless Summer resorts. Both have been very nice. I love Cabana Bay because they have an amazing lazy river. So you could go and check out the resorts and spend a little bit more time there and take advantage of what it is that they have while at the resorts. Pro tip, I recommend having a pool day. Perk number 3 here is that you can choose where it is you want to eat while in the parks. When visiting with a family or when visiting with kids, quite frankly, you might not be able to visit some of the fancier restaurants or the restaurants that kids might not really be interested in. Or again, if you're trying to stay on a budget, you can bring some snacks with you, try to power through your day during lunchtime, and then get some type of quick service for dinner. So when traveling by yourself, you can definitely take advantage of something like that. And since it's one person, it's definitely cheaper than having a family or multiple people. So that's another thing to think about, is if you are wanting to check out a more expensive restaurant, that's something that's definitely doable when traveling solo. Perk number 4 is trying out new things. When traveling with a group or with family or kids, they might just want to stick to the rides, not do any of the extras when it comes to visiting Universal. They might just prioritize rides. But when you go by yourself, you could definitely check out the rides and also see some of the details or the experiences that normal people going to Universal don't usually get to experience or take advantage of. You could set up a tour for yourself. I'm not sure right now currently if they have them available. You could also check out some rides that you're not usually able to check out. As I mentioned, if you have kids, you might not be able to ride the coasters usually, so that's really nice. You're able to check out some new rides for yourself. You can walk around and just enjoy the details of the park and see some of the details that people usually rushing around and going to Universal might miss in a typical day. Try out some new food or snacks that you haven't had before. And another thing that I would like to do if I had a Harry Potter wand is I'd like to go around Harry Potter World and do all of the interactive wand spots and see all of these spells that I can cast. So when traveling solo, you can definitely take advantage of some experiences that you either haven't before or that normal people going to Universal don't get to in a normal day. And finally, we are at perk number 5 here, guys, which is the absolute best perk of traveling solo to Universal, and that is that you can take advantage of those single rider lines. Now, the one thing that I really like about Universal compared to Disney is that they have a ton of single rider lines for their rides. I believe Disney has about 3 single rider lines when I think about it off the top of my head, but Universal has almost for every ride that they have a single rider's line. If you're not familiar with what a single rider's line is, it's that for every spot on the ride, when there is an open spot from the standby queue, the queue that you usually would stand in, if there's an open spot on the ride, they will take a person from the single rider's line and fill that spot, so that way the entire ride vehicle is filled up, and it just helps the flow of the ride ride and helps with wait times. But not only that, it is a huge perk to you because you do not have to wait in the normal standby line that can tend to be pretty long on a typical day at Universal. As I mentioned earlier, I take a lot of solo trips to Disney and Universal, and one particular day that I visited Universal, the line for the Escape from Gringotts ride was 60 minutes long, but I obviously was able to hop in that single rider's line, and when I went in the line, there was absolutely no one there. I was the only one hopping in the line, and I was able to get right on the ride and completely bypass the long standby line. Now, I know you can obviously see the perk of this if you are someone that is trying to go and maximize your time at Universal and see how many rides you can absolutely cram in a day. This single rider's line will be a game changer for you. That's actually an interesting challenge for myself. Next time I visit by myself to Universal, I'm going to challenge myself and see how many rides I can fit in a day by doing the single rider's line. So there you have it, folks. 5 perks of taking a solo trip to Universal. Have I convinced you yet? Let me know in the comments below if you've ever considered or have ever taken a solo trip to Universal. I know what you might be thinking, guys. It might feel awkward or weird to visit a theme park by yourself, but quite frankly, I have really loved all of the experiences that I've been able to have to visit both of these theme parks. I've really been able to maximize my time, experience all that it is that I want out of a theme park. It's very fun being able to visit with family and friends, but it's also fun just being able to go by yourself, do exactly what it is you want to do, and I'm telling you guys, those single rider lines are game changers. That's what I'm going to leave it with here. Those single rider lines you will love. So thanks so much for watching this video today, guys. I hope it was helpful for you and made you move a little bit further in your decision of making a solo trip for yourself to Universal. If you're new here and interested in keeping up with future theme park tips and tricks videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button below and I'll keep you posted when future videos go live. But thanks so much for watching today, guys. Enjoy your solo trip to Universal and I'll see you in the next video. See you guys.